The Willing Victim. How Faraday Future Sold a tomorrow it never delivered. Written by N.B. Heed. Illustrations by Gregory Hasberg and narrated by Spire Fred. In the end, truth in time will prove FF's true value. YT Jia, September 11th, 2025. Somewhere right now, a company that by every ordinary measure should not still exist is asking the public for money, and the public is giving it. The company was founded in 2014 to build an electric car. In the decades since, it has spent something like $5 billion and delivered to actual paying customers almost nothing. A handful of vehicles, a few robots of disputed origin, and a great many announcements. Its stock, adjusted for the reverse splits it had made to stay listed, has lost more than 99% of its value. A single share bought at the start is worth, today, a rounding error. And every annual report it has ever filed carries a warning, in the auditor's own grave language, that there is substantial doubt about the company's ability to continue as a going concern. The formal way of saying it may not survive the year. It has carried that warning for years. Each year, it has been, in a sense, correct, and each year the company has survived anyway. By the logic that governs ordinary businesses, this is impossible. A company that never ships a product runs out of customers. A company that loses that much money runs out of investors. A company an auditor has flagged as a survival risk year after year runs out of the benefit of the doubt. Faraday Future has run out of none of these things. It is still listed, still raising, still promising. To understand how, you have to give up the assumption that it is an ordinary business at all, because it is not failing to be a car company. It is succeeding at being something else. You can hear what that something else is in the way the company talks. In its own press releases, Faraday Future is the pioneer of the ultimate AI tech luxury ultraspire market, and the disruptor of a car civilization epitomized by Ferrari and Maybach. It is not merely a car maker, but a user company. Its customers are co-creators. Its plan is an evolutionary flywheel, or in a later season, a dual flywheel and dual bridge ecosystem strategy, a 3-in-1 ecosystem, a blue ocean market awaiting a blockbuster product. Read enough of it and you notice two things. None of these phrases describes an object you could touch, park, or return, and all of them describe the same thing. The future, arriving shortly, watch this space. The language is not decoration on the product. For most of the company's existence, the language has been the product, and this book is, among other things, an account of how far that can be taken. Here is the thing that took me a long time to see, and that reorganizes everything once you do. The failure of the product is not the story. The mockery is easy, the undelivered cars, the made-up buzzwords, the missed dates, the grand slides, and the mockery misses the point, because it treats the whole performance as incompetence. It is not incompetence. It is a method run with real skill, and the method has almost nothing to do with cars or robots. Those are the lures. The product being sold is your attention, your capital, and your hope that this time it will be different. Judged as a car company, Faraday Future is one of the great failures of the age. Judged as a machine for turning belief into money, it is one of the most durable successes of its era. It has run longer than almost anyone who ever tried the same thing. And the strangest part, the part this whole book is built to show you, is that the method is not a secret. It is not buried or hidden or locked behind some conspiracy a reporter had to crack. It is disclosed. Every mechanism I am going to describe is laid out, in detail, in documents the company has filed with the United States government and made available to anyone who cares to read them. The company has been telling you, the entire time, in its own hand, exactly how this works and exactly what it needs from you. It has simply relied correctly on your not reading the part where it says so. This is the discovery at the heart of the book, and it is worth stating plainly before we begin, because everything else follows from it. Telling you the truth and being understood are two different things, and the distance between them is wide enough to run a company through for a decade. The company satisfies the law by putting the truth in the filing. It captures you by putting the opposite in the press release. Both are public. Both go out under the same name, often on the same day. But the filing is a cold document written for a regulator, and the press release is a warm one written for you. And the law asks only that the truth be disclosed, never that it be read. A going concern warning repeated for 10 straight years stops working as a warning. It becomes wallpaper. You stop seeing it, and a company that understands this does not fear the disclosure. The disclosure is its shield. We told you it can say, and it will be right because it did on page 41, where it knew you would not look. So how do you write honestly about a machine like this? How do you do it without either claiming a certainty the evidence does not support or letting the machine hide behind the fact that all of it was technically legal? You do it in the conditional. You may remember a book published some years ago by a man who had been accused of a terrible crime and acquitted of it, who then set down his account under a title that was a hypothetical. If he had done it, this is how. The device was grotesque in that case. But as a device, it was uniquely powerful, and it is the one this book will borrow. Not because Faraday Future has been accused of a crime. It has not been charged with one, and I will not accuse it of one. That is the work of courts, not authors. I borrow the conditional because it is the only voice that can show you a method honestly. If you wanted to run a public company on narrative alone, if you wanted to enrich yourself and the people around you for years while delivering almost nothing, and to do it entirely within the law, this is exactly how you would do it. That is the voice of the pages ahead. It never claims the crime. It lays out the instructions, step by step, and then beside each step, shows you the filing in which Faraday Future has already done that very thing. The conditional never accuses. It only demonstrates. And in the end, it is more damning than any accusation because it asks you to notice the overlap yourself. What you are holding then is a handbook. Read one way, it is a curtain pulled back, an account of how a company can survive for a decade on story alone, and why so many intelligent people helped fund it. Read the other way, it is a set of instructions, assembled entirely from the target's own paperwork, the playbook for running a public company as a narrative, told by working through the longest-running example the markets have yet produced. The two readings are the same gesture, from opposite sides of a curtain, and every page of the instructions is drawn from the company's own disclosures because that is the only honest place a handbook like this could come from. There is one thing the method cannot do without, and it is not a lie. It is you.